Hello and welcome to Fixing South Sudan, your ideas for building the new nation. I am Adingor. Hello and welcome to Fixing South Sudan, your ideas for building the new nation. I am Adingor. This week on Fixing South Sudan, a discussion about the Chapter 2 of the Revitalized Agreement on Permanent Ceasefire and Transitional Security Arrangements. With us for the show is Lieutenant General James Koang Chol, the SPLA-IO Deputy Chief of General Staff, Admin and Finance, and co-chair of the Joint Defense Board. He is here in the show. He is affectionately called CDR during the liberation process, a veteran of the SPLA war with Khartoum. It's our pleasure to welcome him to the program in Bor, Jonglei State. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
How are you?
Thank you, Mali.
So when we talk about the revitalized agreement, the Chapter 2 is entirely dedicated to the security arrangements. There is talk of pre-transitional period where the forces will be identified, cantoned, trained, and possibly unified before the government is formed. Can you tell us about that process?
Thank you so much, Madink, and thank you for with SSTV. In fact, our work with my counterpart, the chairman of the JDB, that's Chief of Staff Gabriel Jogria, Chief of Defense. Our work is a security arrangement. Security arrangement, that is a part of the agreement, which is the important part of this revitalized agreement. It is said that the forces of both sides to be cantoned, trained, and deployed all over the South Sudan. This is what we are working on it now. We have already started. We started with the confidence building because the forces have already fought. They fought for 5 years. There is a great need for them to build confidence. We have done it with our effort with my counterpart, the Chief of Defense Force. We visit most of the forces here in Equatoria and an area of Jonglei and the part of the Upper Nile.
You underscored an important issue. The agreement took a long time to negotiate, and partly because of the security arrangement. And that is a sensitive matter because the last agreement failed because of the security arrangement. The forces were separate and they clutched in the famous J1 debacle. So you are talking about confidence building as a result of that fighting. How is the process going?
Yes, you are right. The revitalized agreement have made it very clear there will be no two army. The army will be cantoned in their places. First of all, the SPLA MIO will be cantoned in their places, and the SPLA will be cantoned in the barrack. After that, and then you bring them together as you rehearsal them for 45 days, and then you train them. This is what had been avoided by the revitalized peace agreement, because in 2016, in fact, there was two army, and then and the confidence building. It's not like with what we have been doing now. So this one we are going not to happen again in South Sudan. The army not to fight themselves, and this is what we are working on.
Let's simplify this discussion. Let's start with every aspect of this issue. Cantonment. It simply means putting forces in a certain area, agreed upon areas. And for the SPLA-IO forces, what can you say about the cantonment? Is it complete? Is it in process? What are the opportunities and challenges of cantonment?
Yeah, you are right. In fact, the meaning of cantonment is a simple area. Yeah, in simple word, it's a simple where you assemble the forces, because the agreement telling you have to select them. There will be a mechanism that will come and select the forces. Those who are willing to go for the army, those who are willing to go for the police, those who are willing, the candidates that are willing to go for fire brigade, for all the organized forces. The cantonment, there will be many activities in cantonment. You see, sometimes the people misunderstood, but because the peace has not been disseminated well, because of we have not do much in other places. Yeah. To sensitize the forces, and this is the great challenge we have also, because part of the forces we have not sensitized them, and we are really willing to go to those places, because you have the JTSC, you have the JMCC. JTSC is working with the selection of the forces in a single area, which is cantonment. And the JMCC is working with, the work is about the hostility and the ceasefire. We have to make sure that the ceasefire in the country is maintained.
And when you talk about assembly areas, are they identified, or is it a process you're still working out?
Yes, we have already identified, and then we divide them into two. The government have 10 major barracks, and the SPLM, SPLA, IO, and the other opposition like SWA, about 40 cantonment site. From the 40 cantonment side of the opposition, we selected about 25, which is a priority. That if we can come up with within these 2 months, because we are behind the schedule. So we have already identified them, and everybody knows, and most of them are already been filled. But the challenge is about the resources in the country.
When some people thought that the pre-transitional arrangement was giving a long time to the reintegration of forces, and it seems that you have already run out of time, as you just indicated. So, are the forces in the assembly areas, or that is not yet complete?
Yeah, most of them are in assembly area. We visit Pieri. We get in a lot of number of the forces cantonment. We visit Nasser in Mandang, Aiwo, a lot of forces. We went to Turu, a lot of forces, and the area of Bentiu also there are forces which have already gathered. I think we are going well. Even though this peace is our peace, the people of South Sudan have to own it. Even though if they delay, they have to make sure that what delay them is not a mistake of anybody. You cannot blame the government, and you cannot blame the opposition. It is about our resources and what is happening in the country.
As you speak, as the leader of the SPLA-IO forces, would you say that there is total permanent ceasefire being observed
Yes.
in your area?
Yes, 100%. There is a total ceasefire being observed. Yeah, in fact, there are challenges, there are mistakes, but that's why we are correcting them. For example, I came from Nasser. I didn't come from Juba. I went to Nasser since Tuesday, 5 days ago, because there was an insecurity and misunderstanding, and I managed to secure the area, and I managed also to talk to the political leaders, that is the two governors, and they have come now together.
Are your forces aligned to your command and control?
Yes, there is no doubt about this. The forces of the and the forces of the SSSPDF in Nasser, they are really cooperating, and also the security they are cooperating. The only part of it was a civilian, because you know the civilian in the area, they are armed. And also, you know, the war have made, there are a lot of problems in the war that have been created. As you know, when you are young, you was in, even though you was not in the SPLA, there was a problem about getting the gun and ammunition. And this is what we are now trying to handle it with my colleague Gabriel Joria.
You mentioned resources being a factor. As far as the containment go, what would you say, what is still not in place?
Now the government, that is I can say the SS PDF, they are trying the level best to help. Instead, we wait for the international community or other resources. But very soon, food will be taken to area of Panyime. That is because we have selected one area for training. You see, there is a difference between the cantonment and the training site. We have already selected 9 places as a training site for the old forces. In Upper Nile 4, in Equatoria 3, in Greater Bargadal 2. So I'm seeing that we are doing well.
Training is ongoing, or only the places have been identified?
Yeah, the training is not going on. The only places that have been identified where to gather and you select them. The training will not take time because they are already trained. What is needed is only to bring them and you orient them that they are the army of this country.
Is this a possibility that forces that have fought fiercely for 5 years can come together? You speak of confidence building. Is it going to happen, or is the agreement going to unravel because of this issue? Is it not idealistic to say we put them together? Do you think they will feel as one army?
Yeah, you know, there is no bad army, there is no bad soldiers, I mean. The only that the command, you see. But if I came to them and I tell them that, like we have been going together with Gabriel Jogria, doing things together, from the SSPDF and from the IO and other party. This is what we have agreed. And then you abide by it, the order that come to us and come to the commander-in-chief of those army. I think, I'm sure very soon the people of South Sudan will know that we are doing something good, and they will work.
Let's be realistic here. There are bitter feelings among each forces, because war is really about losing relatives, losing properties. Are you confident that the forces will be unified and there will be one army?
Yes, but we don't want to be taken back. We don't talk about the history which had happened to ourselves. What we are doing is a way forward. What can make us to have a stability in this country? Because if we talk about what had happened, will take us back. We are going to tell the forces, we fought ourselves, and all of us, we are comrades. You see, we are before. And what had happened in ourselves, we will pick it, and we will. I'm sure we will prevail, and the peace of this country will later on. The other people who are doubting on us, they will say like that because it's our time. We know that war has taken a lot of life, but can we just say that let us continue because war has taken a lot of life? We have to say okay.
We have to move on.
We have to move on and then preserve what those who have not died. You see.
Let's take a break. Hello and welcome to Fixing South Sudan, your ideas for building the new nation. I am Adingor. Welcome back to Fixing South Sudan, your ideas for building the new nation. I am Adingor, and with us is Lieutenant General James Koang Chol, otherwise known as CDR, from the liberation era of the SPLA, SPLM, 21 years of war. And now we are talking about peacemaking, how to make sure the security arrangements works, the forces are trained and reunified. And what a tough thing to do in a country that has only known war. Is it really possible? Can we have peace? If we should have peace, the forces need to be disciplined and stable, and they don't respond to the call of politicians. Is this really doable?
Yeah, there is nothing impossible. Because South Sudan, what we are doing now is to make South Sudan's army to be independent. We know that there is a commandership, yes, but it is a lesson to us what had happened. And there will be a lot of persuasion when politicians because the politicians they do disagree, but for the army they don't.
You are a commander, you are not just cropping up yesterday, you have been a commander for a long time. What is your takeaway from J1, which was something unseen in history? What was your personal takeaway? Do you say never again?
It was really bad. It came to us. There is no country that has fought in the palace. I never heard it, unless when there is a coup. What happened? I myself personally, when I was called by Dr. Riek, I was in a meeting because I was the member, the co-chair of the JMCC with my colleague Leda Joma. We did not see anything from the eye of the people that something will happen today. And then we took him to J1 and I went home where I was staying. But when the fighting erupted, it's really bad. And it is a lesson to us, this not to happen again.
The people of South Sudan are very cynical. And when they talk about the peace agreement signed, they think that it is war being postponed for another day. That what usually takes the country to war are feelings. And this is where we talk about confidence. How much progress have you made on that? The confidence building will actually start when you merge the two forces together. And my question now is really about the timeline. Are you going to be able to meet the timeline?
Yes. Even though we will not meet it for all the forces, but we are working very hard to make sure that the forces that now being gathered in the area of Yei, if we can't now, like what we are doing, we can't emerge them quickly, train them and unify them, and then deploy them as a security, then the government will be formed. So this is what we are working on, Madin.
So how many forces are we talking about? Are we on both sides? How many forces have to be merged that have to keep the security in the interim?
Yeah, because the whole forces you will merge all the forces. Eventually. All the forces of the country, you will merge them so that you have unified forces. You have the forces, the army of South Sudan, you will have them. But now for the urgent that we are doing, because we are behind the time, we are trying very hard that if we manage to train one brigade or two brigades, about 6,000 to 7,000, then you will deploy them.
And
because according to our diversity, this is what we are working on.
Right. And for the CNC of the SPLA, SPLMIO to come to Juba, you would have to have security in place. So when can you say is the time when he will come to Juba?
He will come to time. Time will come.
The agreement cutoff date is in May. That is the month.
And this what now we are
is
working.
That possible?
That is possible. It's possible. You know, Dr. Riek is for peace. Even though without forces he can come, because he has a confidence of the people of South Sudan.
In this program, we speak of fixing South
South Sudan.
Sudan.
Yeah.
As a commander that has been involved in war, people will say you killed, and indeed you killed,
Yeah.
and now you are a peacemaker.
Yeah.
Is it possible to fix South Sudan after destroying it?
Yeah, South Sudan have not been destroyed.
You have not destroyed South Sudan
we have not
with your
destroyed.
actions,
No.
fighting, killing civilians,
No.
wreaking havoc
No.
here and there.
No. Nobody. South Sudan have not been destroyed. Yeah, infrastructure has been destroyed from part of the places.
People have
And
died, people have been displaced.
Yes, that is the nature of war. But it is not the first time that the people of South Sudan to kill themselves. And that's why we are working very hard to fix it again, like what you say. You see, to 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 build confidence among ourselves, to bring our people together, like what had happened yesterday in Boer Town, when people celebrate in high number. You see, this is what is going to happen now all over the South Sudan.
South Sudan is going to be fixed.
South Sudan is already fixed, and what we are going to do is only to make sure that to add what we have, to contribute all on us, so that we go ahead.
We
with the
speak
peace.
about your credentials as a veteran of the SPLA war, and when you were struggling in the bush, you wanted to have a country.
Yeah.
And now that we have a country,
Yeah.
what would you say about not only the process of the revolution, but the fact that we now have a country that has been tearing itself apart, and now we are bringing it together?
Yeah. Yeah. What I can say, in fact, I participated in the struggle in my life since 1983 until 2013, when the country fought itself. It is a lesson to us, and I'm saying that this is not to happen again. Let the people of South Sudan to have their own country, like what we did. In fact, I struggled. I have more than 7 bullets in the struggle. And I cannot blame anybody during that period. But now, we don't talk about the past, what had happened in our country. We leave all this and let us develop our country. Let us build confidence among our people, among our army. And thank you so much.
And as we speak, we should not lose sight of the fact that you are in Bor. And this is a place where the IO forces wreak havoc in the area and kill people. The fact that you could be at the Freedom Square in Bor and there is someone shouting, "Viva Riek Machar" in Freedom Square in Bor, is that an indication that peace is going to come and is coming permanently?
Yeah, that is, and this is the meaning of the peace. Because even though I'm alone, I have to shout that SPLM, SPLA, Viva. Because this is the slogan of the SPLM, Viva, and SPLA. And that's when it is already, because when we were in the bush, we organized ourselves as a political and as an army, you see, and the slogan is one slogan. So here in Bor, in fact, I came and I spent 4 nights here in this building, and we talk a lot. I get my colleague here. I don't think that I have a problem with anybody, because I don't have personal problem with anyone here. You see, that's why I went and briefed the officer in Malwanchat for about 4 hours. You see, to make a confident building. So I'm very happy I'm on board. I have no security, by the way, myself, but my security is peace, and my colleagues who are now with me.
You did not speak yesterday, but if you were to speak as a commander and also as the leader of the SPLIO forces, would you have apologized for some of the atrocities that have been carried out by your army against the people of this place and the people of South Sudan?
Yeah. The apology is not when you apologize on something, make sure that you want to build confidence on your people. You see, and the apology was already made by Dr. Rio when during the celebration of it was in Juba. That was, they were done it together. They done it together with the president. So there is nothing to me special that to come and apologize. The hate have already apologized, and everybody down us here. Yeah, we say that the mistake that had happened among ourselves. You know, by the way, the people, the Iowa also was attacked, and their area was destroyed. And we need also all of us, not me alone, all of us, to apologize for what had happened to among ourselves.
But on your part, you personally apologize.
Yeah, we can apologize to our people. We can say that what had happened.
Can we or do we say we apologize?
Yeah, this is what I'm saying now, buddy. We say that what had happened, it is a mistake. We apologize to people of South Sudan for what had happened. You see, not IO alone to apologize. It's IO and the government. Like now, if my counterpart is here, he will apologize for his own, and I will apologize. For me, in fact, I apologize for the suffering of our people, which I've seen.
Will we fix South Sudan?
Thank you, sir.
Have you fixed South Sudan? Or has South Sudan fixed you?
South Sudan is already fixed because we're liberating it. Even though we die, South Sudan will remain. It's our country. This is the suffering, we struggle for it. You see? Like when we are fighting now, when we were fighting in Iowa, we were not fighting the South Sudan. We were fighting the administration of South Sudan.
Thank you very much for coming to the show.
Thank you, sir.
Shukran.